Hi, I'm Laurence Juber, and you're watching the Musician Network. Well, what I wanted was, I took the orchestra model, the OM, which is a real legacy model from Martin going back to the late 1920s, and I modernized it. String spacing here and here, neck dimensions, and using basically kind of vintage style wood like Adirondack spruce for the top. This one in particular has hide glue construction, which is what they used in the vintage era, like the golden age era. And then everything else has been just trying different body woods. This is koa. We've done it in Brazilian rosewood, Madagascar rosewood, Indian rosewood, mahogany, maple. It's been this long 10-year experiment. I really like koa, it's cool. Yeah, so you kind of learn, you know, and the thing about an acoustic guitar is that it takes time. An electric guitar, you plug it in and it, you know, I mean, they mature a little bit, but the basic sound is there or it's not. With an acoustic, they change. You know, it takes about 10 years for them to really start to, you know, they're like kids. I mean, you know, the first couple of years they're in diapers and just really bratty, you know. I look at it like I got my master's degree from McCartney University. That was basically it. I mean, I just learned a lot about making records, writing music, touring, the business, the publishing end of the business. Plus I got to work with a Beatle every day and subsequently worked with Ringo and George. So, you know, 3 out of 4 is not bad. Just a deep education. I have ultimate control as an artist on my own stuff. So when I write a tune, you know, like I played Cobalt Blue, I can do whatever I like because I'm the artist. When you write it, if I'm writing for a video game, like I did Diablo 3, which will be out sometime soon, you know, I'm kind of bound by certain musical characteristics that are inherent in the game. So I have to work within those parameters. And like when I did some stuff last year for StarCraft, for example, it was very specific. They wanted a very specific style, and I was playing a lap dobro with a slide and, you know, kind of cowboy style stuff. And if I'm doing, you know, something for a movie, it's got to be specific to that. So my freedom comes from being an artist. And then I can choose as an arranger to arrange whatever I feel like doing, whether it's something in the Beatle area or something much more like Pink Panther or something very noir, kind of dark, moody stuff. So I like that freedom, and I like being able to bring my own guitaristics and musicality to the arranging process, you know, whether it's kind of like a Beatles song. With I Am the Walrus, for example, you know, and just being able to make my choices, but within that realm of being specific to the song and just making it work on guitar, you know. So I like that as a challenge. But I've written a lot of music myself for guitar, and that's, I think, my favorite thing. I think it's worth having a certain amount of familiarity. I mean, you know, if you're doing anything soloistic, playing fingerstyle, you know, using the fingers to, you know, to play a melody and a bass line. Two different parts at once. So that kind of thing. You can't do that with a pick. So, but it's kind of, I'm doing what a piano player would do, you know, with the left and the right hand, but it's this way round. But, you know, with the simple finger picking, kind of, you know, playing patterns. You know, it's always, you can create texture that way, and that's good. It gives you more to work with than just strictly strumming. Composing and arranging. I can choose what I want to do, how I want to do it. And I like limitations. I like choosing a song and saying, okay, I've got to make this work guitaristically. And how can I make this work? And what tuning am I going to use to make this happen? Now, a lot of the time, I use DAD-GAD tuning, D-A-D-G-A-D. So it'll let me do, for example, something like that with Cry Me a River. And you get these cool voicings. But it's not like standard tuning, you know, it gives you more to work with, almost orchestrating on the guitar. So this kind of open, spacious kind of thing, you know, I like that. Yeah, and it just, you know, it engages an audience. Because everything I do, I try and do either for the recording process to make it a cool sounding record, or to perform. You know, that's pretty much it. And then the teaching kind of derives from both ends of that. Doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter how fiddly the whole thing is, unless you play the tune, the audience has no idea what it is you're playing. You know, so keep it simple, less is more. And then build. You don't want to start with complexity and then try and understand it. You start with simple steps, which become more complex. Well, you can find me. I'm quite accessible. LaurenceJuber.com, my website. I respond mostly, I can respond to email, unless they don't make any sense, but usually they do. And I like to, excuse me, I like to answer questions and kind of, you know, communicating and articulating what I do helps me understand what I do. So that's one of the reasons I like the teaching part of it, because it just gives me a kind of a sounding board. It's, oh, yeah, that's what I'm doing, you know, I learn. So yeah, I'm fairly accessible, and just, you know, come say hello at a gig.